Okay, so right now I want to talk about this light mount right here. It's the Impact Weapons Components light mount. This is the extra long version. It has a 1-inch ring that will fit a Streamlight Polytac or this Surefire light. Now on this mount, it used backing hardware like you would see on the old Magpul MOE stuff, but it is M-LOK compatible and MOE compatible. For it to fit under the heat shield, I'll try to include a picture, but I had to cut like the last quarter of that off, so that way the heat shield would snap back in. It wouldn't be pushed out and end up touching the barrel or something. But I'll include pictures. Okay, and one of the main reasons I want to make a video on this is most AK experts, or what everybody would consider are experts in the field of AKs, will say if you want to mount a red dot and a light, then your best option is to get an Ultimak rail and use like a Haley Thorntail mount on top, and then mount the red dot there. And they'll say it'll be fine, you just got to wear a glove. And I guess my problem is I don't want to rely on having to use a glove to shoot 3 mags in a row. I want to be able to run this gun without having to wear a glove. There are still hot parts on this. If you touch the metal up there or the metal down here, you're still going to get burned. But I can run this gun, I can run a lot of rounds through it and get it hot and not burn my hand at all and not wear gloves. So that's what I like about this, and that's what I had in mind when I put this together. I added some extra holes there to vent some of the heat. And one thing important, if you get any type of handguard that has a heat shield, you want to make sure that it's stainless steel and not aluminum. Aluminum holds heat, but the stainless steel will act more like a heat barrier and direct that heat up and away. That's why I have those vent holes there. All right, so look, I'm not saying the guys that run Ultimaks or advise Ultimaks are wrong. I'm just saying that wasn't the option that I wanted. And I'm no AK expert. I just do things how I want to do them, and I have a I have a reason behind it. And this works. And when I weighed this rifle without a magazine, it was 9.2 pounds. And I don't see that as really bad for an AK. I probably could drop some weight if I made this a polymer buttstock, but I think that kind of helps keep some weight towards the end. And of course you can drop weight by dropping the red dot, dropping everything else. But I like the setup. And this is the muzzle device I have on there. This is from Midwest. I tested this in my previous video. There's no ports on the bottom and no ports at 12. And this is probably, I think, the best compromise muzzle device you're going to get as far as recoil mitigation, a comp, flash hider, and something that's not going to blow your eardrums out. And guys, I realize there's better brakes out there, but if I ever have to fire this with either single ears or no ears, I don't want to have to fire something that's going to leave my ears ringing for days. All right, so let's see, the other thing I got here, I got this off of eBay. These are 7.62 by 39 millimeter dummy rounds. I don't see a ton of guys doing like immediate action drills with AKs, and I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to tap rack or just rack. So I know there's different types of malfunctions. To be honest, I need to look into them better. But I'm gonna try these out today, see how these work, make sure the these little plastic pieces or rubber pieces don't fall out and get stuck in my gun and make it go full semi. All right, but I'm gonna test this light mount out, and do some shooting from behind cover and do some testing out with these. All right, so I know you guys are going to ask this, and I think I included it in the last video, but in case you're wondering, that light does splash on the front sight post. Now, if this was a combo gas block front sight post, like on the AKE, I think that'd be perfect. You would have very little shadowing on the barrel, and you would have none because there wouldn't be a front sight post there. So if this was a combo gas block, this setup would be even better. Not crazy about that flashing. If you're shooting it at something farther away in the darkness and your light's not really reaching it all the way, you might be in some trouble, but up close, you know, like CQB distances, that little bit of light is not gonna be an issue. All right, so let's get shooting. Okay guys, so hopefully you were able to see how this worked. Remember, you can see the height of the red dot over the barrel. Remember your height over bore when you're shooting over top of cover. You may have to cant your red dot to the side to avoid striking your cover. But then you can see the light flashing, and sometimes you guys have noticed that because of the recoil, it will push back and click on and stay on. That's not intentional. That's something that I don't want to happen. So I may have to train to click it and click it off every time to avoid leaving that light on, because that's not good. All right, so the handguard, this thing is completely manageable and is warm like it is left, like was left in the sun, but not hot to touch where I would even consider needing a glove. The aluminum light mount's not hot, the light's not hot, and on some of my other ones that were mounted to the barrel, even the aluminum light mount was really hot, where I was concerned it was going to melt the polymer tube of my flashlight. So as far as the training rounds, my first time using training rounds with an AK, I was hoping to show some of you guys the conditions. They all fed in and ejected fine, but they ejected pretty good, and I was able to reuse a couple of them multiple times, but I lost all of them in the leaves. So I'll have to come out here with my metal detector and try to find them. But they work pretty good. Not worth the price if you're gonna lose all 5 your first time out, but thought I'd try something new. All right, so if you guys have any questions, leave them below. And I'm not saying you were wrong for using the Ultimak, but that's not what I wanted. So you guys have a good night and be safe.